sucks. It's really bad. Like, really. Like, I don't think you guys get how bad the mosquitoes are here. Like, it's like people are talking about it. That's how bad the mosquitoes are here. It's like a common discussion point.
Welcome to another episode of Boom or Bust, the draft show. Max Chadwick alongside Nick Merriam, Tate Sigworth. Guys, we're finally here. We're in college football season, in the NFL season. So what this is going to be is basically our biggest takeaways through 2 weeks of college football and almost all of week one of NFL. Actually, Monday Night Football is going on right now as we speak. It's during halftime right now. So our biggest takeaways from a rookie's perspective, from a draft perspective, heading in to the following week of the season. We're going to try to do this as much as we can during the season because obviously with the draft, there's so much that's dependent on what's going on in college football right now, what's going on in the NFL right now. So we're going to try to give you our up-to-the-minute takes on that. Before we start the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Boom or Bust Draft, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts. Check out the merch store below. And please continue supporting us because support for us, oh my goodness, I didn't charge it. I didn't charge the Manscaped
Whoa, what a clown.
4.0. But just to show you how awesome this has been.
First ever.
This is I haven't charged this, I think, since we've gotten it. And we've done, I don't know how many videos, and I've used it other than the videos too. I'm not going to get into that too much. But it hasn't lost its battery until literally right this second. So that just shows you how incredible the Lawnmower 4.0 is. Do you like playing with balls? No, I'm not talking about footballs. I mean your balls. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming, want you to shave your pubes with the Tom Brady of ball trimmers, the brand new Lawnmower 4.0, only the GOAT technology for the greatest balls of all time. When you're going towards the end zone, make sure you use the right tools for the job and choose Manscaped. 2 million and 3 men worldwide trust them. So join the movement with our exclusive offer by using the promo code Boom or Bust. Did you hear that thunder behind me?
Oh, wow.
That is God or whoever you believe in saying, trust this Lawnmower 4.0, man. That was terrifying.
Thought something fell over.
Boom or Bust, Boom or Bust, the promo code, all caps, no spaces at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. Again, 20% off free shipping when you use the code Boom or Bust at manscaped.com. Take your ball defense to the promised land with Manscaped. So this is kind of like not really a structured video like we've done basically every video in the past. It's basically just a conversation. Like, what have we seen from 2 weeks so far? So, Nick, let's start with you, man. What's your biggest takeaway from the first 2 weeks of college football or this first NFL week one that we've seen?
Big board.
Basically.
I don't know. Like, Jackson Kirkland's had a rough start. Aiden Hutchinson looks amazing. Desmond Ridder might be good. I don't know. Malik Willis, people are mocking number one QB now. Sam Howell had a rough first game against Virginia Tech and then bounced back. Nothing makes sense. It won't. I need like a month or two.
Yeah, things are going out the window pretty quickly. Nick hit a lot of the brief points there. Good to see Sam Howell get a bounce back performance this past weekend, showing off the legs, something that I didn't really know Sam Howell really had in him. Had 100+ rushing yards. A lot of it came on that one rush, but the quarterback class, Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler, we thought were the clear kind of 1-2 with maybe Malik Willis, Matt Corral hanging on the fringe there.
He's good too.
But I would bet that right now, like if you had to take one, like I would probably take maybe Malik Willis and Matt Corral over Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler at this point in time, week 2. If you just had to do it right now,
2 games in, I mean, might be.
If we're just going off that, I don't know. Like Sam Howell's had that bad game, a good game. Spencer Rattler has looked, okay. He beat up on a bad team this past week through 5 touchdowns versus Western Carolina. But yeah, Matt Corral's been good and Malik's been pretty good. I know the numbers aren't there, but some of the tape he's been putting out's great. So yeah, this quarterback class is already a bit messy.
Yeah, we went into this year thinking it was going to get messy, but we kind of I feel like we all had this constant of being like, okay, Rattler and Howell, those are the two guys, and maybe someone will jump them, but they should stay near the top. It has been rough, man, especially for Sam Howell. I think Rattler in that first game, I think it was a little bit overblown how bad he played against Tulane. I thought he played okay. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad. Howell looked freaking terrible against Virginia Tech. Like he had a few throws, all three. There were a few throws on his tape, especially the one at the end where he threw the game-sealing pick when he was getting sacked and he just tried to like throw it. And it was like, dude, it was second down, 40 seconds left. Take the sack, or even try to throw it out of bounds. Like it seemed like he tried to complete the pass on that play. So awful game from Sam Howell there. He tried to be superhero in that game. And I think the Baker Mayfield comp, I know, Tate, you're going to hate this, but I mean, it fits, man, because Baker Mayfield, think about it. In 2018, he was great. 2019 wasn't really that good. And the scheme in the Browns in 2019 was not very good. And the playmakers weren't as good as they are now. And then now look at him now, 2020, 2021. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now because the surrounding cast is really good. Sam Howell last year and the year before, Diami Brown, Daz Newsome, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter. Those are superstars. And we saw them all get picked in the NFL draft. Doesn't have any of them anymore. Now he's by himself. Not looking too hot. So, yeah, I definitely think that's something to keep an eye on for Sam Howell for sure. Malik Willis has looked more like a quarterback and less, like a playground athlete playing quarterback, which is great. You love to see that. Spencer Rattler still looks like a playground athlete playing quarterback, which is something that you don't really want to see. You want to see him play more in structure, and he's not really doing that. One guy I want to throw out before we move on, guys. Will Levis, the Penn State backup, who is now at Kentucky.
Yeah, he's not the Penn State backup anymore, Max.
No, he's
Don't
now at
lead with
Kentucky.
that.
I wish he was a Penn State starter because of Sean Clifford, but he might be. Is 2 weeks in. I'm not going to go too crazy 2 weeks in, but he might be the Zach Wilson of this class. Like the arm talent he has is ridiculous, and he might be that guy that just comes out of nowhere and rockets up draft boards. Will Levis.
Ball to the curb? Is he gone? Just done?
No, McCall has played great. McCall's actually looked really good. But I do think Will Levis, the arm talent playing in the SEC, if he keeps it up, he looked good against Missouri. If he keeps it up, he could be that Zach Wilson player. We'll see.
McCall is tough because they're just not playing anyone. Like they won't play anyone.
It's triple off.
Like they played Buffalo this week, and that's like maybe their toughest game. Like,
yeah. No, I said it. Like they literally have the easiest schedule in the country this year, which is you're not gonna take a guy in the first round and he's playing that kind of schedule.
Yeah.
But I do love Christian McCall. He's my guy. Tate, what's your any other takes that you've had through 2 weeks of college football and 1 week of NFL?
I guess the edge class. That's something that we all kind of want to talk about. Zach Harrison, I was a little bit worried about him at Ohio State edge. I just wasn't sure exactly how good he was going to be. For the past 2 weeks, he's been excellent. Coming up with some big numbers. And then there's been a million other guys. I mean, they're honestly, like we thought last year's edge class had good depth. Maybe some of them towards the back end weren't as good, but they had good depth, the class overall. I mean, there's like maybe 8-9 edges in this class that like could go in like the top 50 or like something around there. So yeah, this edge class so far through the past 2 weeks has been living up to expectations, I would say.
Yeah, it is very deep, and we're seeing this even as Kayvon Thibodeau is injured and not playing football. Aiden Hutchinson, like we mentioned, just was amazing this past week. Brendan Cox flashed a little bit. Zach Harrison, I had a good game 2 weeks ago. I haven't really looked into it this past week. I struggled against run defense in Ohio State, but he still has looked fine. But there's more beyond that. There's a couple of guys who have merged, and we've talked about this defensive class being good, and the edge class obviously it was there. Nick Bonito, another guy I haven't mentioned yet, but the safety class also has had a couple of guys emerge, and it's just, I think part of the reason maybe that this is such a weird class is because we talk about defensive volatility, and if there's that many good prospects and they're all on the defensive side of the ball, then our boards are probably going to change a little more than a heavy offensive class. Just a thought.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Kyle Hamilton week 1. Yeah. We haven't even had the opportunity to talk about him on video.
Dude. PJ saying he's the number 1 overall player in this draft.
I don't hate it.
I know a lot of people say, I know he's saying a lot of big boards that have him there. We're like, I don't know about that. He might be that.
Stanley's been good, right? I mean, I haven't really.
He's been okay. Like that UCLA game wasn't great. I'm blanking on who they played this week. I don't think it was anyone that good. But yeah, I mean, dude, Hamilton, the first pick was cool. That was a good one against Florida State. The second one, he was on the other side of the field and he came sprinting across, making the pick. And then I don't know if you guys saw this one because it was on Peacock and literally nobody saw the game. Notre Dame almost lost to Toledo, but nobody saw it, so it doesn't really happen. Kyle Hamilton had a interception that was called back, and it was a BS call. They called it incomplete, but it got tipped off the guy's hand, and Hamilton dove like all out and made the catch, and it was amazing. So yeah, Kyle Hamilton might be the best player overall in this draft, especially with the weak quarterback class that we're seeing right now, or maybe a jumbled up quarterback class. I want to just go back real quick. Aiden Hutchinson, I'm going to say right now, he's a top 10 player in this draft because what he did against Washington and what he did against, I think, our OT2, right, in Jackson Kirkland was incredible. Incredible. Yeah, Jackson Kirkland may not be as good as we think. Maybe that anchor might be a bigger weakness than we thought it was. But, dude, Aiden Hutchinson destroyed Washington and destroyed Jackson Kirkland. Now I think Aiden Hutchinson, I think Nick Benito, I think Kayvon Thibodeau, Kingsley and Nagbears look good. We'll see how he does. This edge class might have 4 guys, top 15. I think 3 in the top 10 of my prospects right now. So, yeah, I think Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Benito, Kayvon Thibodeau, probably all 3 of them in my top 10 overall prospects right now. And Aiden Hutchinson, again, number 2 on Bruce Feldman's freaks list, too. So this guy's a freak athlete, too. So, Nick, any other takeaways that you've had from the past week?
Yeah, we kept the receipts, and we just have to do this thing real quick. Najee Harris did not fix the Steelers' rush offense.
I thought he would.
People thought it would, but it's not. And we got a nice little tweet in the right here for you from our friend Austin Gale. He was hit or behind or at the line of scrimmage on 75% of his carries. The highest percentage of any running back with 10 plus carries in week 1. Not good. 7 carries for 8 yards in the first half. Finished with 16 for 45, which is also not great. Big Ben, lowest greatest rated passer rating, I believe, PFF grade this past week.
Yep.
I can't cite the numbers exactly, but yes, just not good. And people are going to get excited the Steelers beat the Bills, but really it's more about the Bills just being even worse than the Steelers.
Yeah,
and also
the Bills beat themselves. I will say that.
Yeah,
I fear that the Steelers defense is going to drag that team to more wins than they realistically should have.
Then they should. Pittsburgh needs a quarterback right now, man. I want to get one of these guys that's going to fall. And yeah, one stat I wanted to point out, Najee, that was insane. He played 100% of the offensive snaps. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback do that.
They really believe he's like the franchise. That might be something to be scared of, too, is they're like, we don't need a quarterback. We have Najee Harris.
We go back to the Jerome Bettis days, man. Hell yeah. Establish the run. That's what Pittsburgh needs to do. Jesus. Yeah, it's not good.
Find you a Baker Mayfield, huh?
It's really good for the bell cow.
We told you this would happen. Really Max, a fan of the Steelers. We told you, and it's here. It's here. Yep. Congrats.
It's here, and now it's happening. Yeah, and for the people who said Najee Harris is the bell cow back, you're proven right because he literally played every single snap of that game, which I don't think I've ever seen a running back do that. So that's good. Yes. That's good. Tate, you got anything?
The Jaguars. I mean, we could talk about the Jaguars just because we're a draft podcast and they had one of the most roller coaster.
Trevor Lawrence on your roster at the same time.
Line up Spencer Rattler somewhere and just do something. Their draft class was a roller coaster.
Though, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't know. They're not very good. But I don't know. Urban Meyer, I feel so bad for Trevor Lawrence. He said it a couple times because I really I don't think he's going to do well because that team and that management is so bad.
He didn't look very well.
Can we get them Kyle Hamilton?
A couple good throws.
He had a couple. He had one interception though. I don't know if you guys saw it. The last one, dude. What the hell was he looking at? That might have been the worst pick I've ever seen in my life. He just threw it to a linebacker. There's no one receiver even near there. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It also, it's the crazy stat going around on social media right now. It's that his first loss since, maybe Pee Wee football. Didn't lose in high school, college, and then, he's finally lost a game.
Urban's probably gonna leave for USC any day now. So we'll see.
I don't think he'll do that. I think that's just not gonna happen.
I think he'll be forced to do that. I don't know if Jacksonville's gonna.
After one game?
That contract, no. I think he'll keep more than a year. That contract's too impossible to get out of because they paid him a crap ton of money. What do you
Justin
guys?
Fields might give the Bears a chance to win games.
You think they'll actually take that chance though?
I don't know they will, but I think they could actually make the playoffs if they just started. He looked very
Nick,
limited, but he looked good.
That's shocking. I never thought Justin Fields could be good. None
No,
of us
but I
ever
mean their
say-
O-line's really, really bad, and the receivers
Yeah.
aren't good either. So I thought it wouldn't matter, but he was like in very limited snaps, clearly
Yeah,
like
he's
a
clearly the
difference
guy.
maker.
He's clearly like the guy.
Not just the guy, like a difference maker. Like
Yeah.
He brought the juice. I was interested to see week 1. You know, we talked about Trey Lance, Jimmy G. We talked about Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. How much would these two guys, these two rookies, actually see the field? I was happy to see that the coaches were kind of working them in these kind of like maybe run favored situations, but then they also let him pass the ball. Trey Lance got a touchdown pass, and Justin Fields found the end zone on a run. So yeah, I think it was very interesting and something obviously everyone's going to keep watching for the weeks to come.
Dude, people keep forgetting like, oh, they're gonna like rest Justin Fields, just like just get him ready. Matt Nagy doesn't have time to do that, man. He really doesn't. This is him coaching for his job right now. And I know Matt is like, oh, whatever's best for Justin Fields. Matt, you need to think about what's ever best for you because this might be the last year that you're Chicago Bears head coach. Another thing I wanted to throw out there, guys. Apparently, Jamar Chase is actually good. Who knew?
Penei Sewell too.
Penei Sewell also good. I mean, this is shocking. I thought they're going to cut both of them after the preseason. Like, I don't know what the hell happened there. Yeah, don't overreact too much to the preseason. Yeah, so basically, in conclusion, this draft class is going to be a chaotic mess. And my God, we are so excited to break down this chaotic mess and actually find what we could actually say about this draft class. Because, man, this is last year, we had Lawrence and we're like, okay, Lawrence is awesome. Bam, end of video. Pitts is awesome. Bam, end of video. I feel like we're going to have a few of these videos where I'm screaming about a guy saying he's amazing. Tate's like, dude, I don't know. Nick's like, I don't know. That's what the Drew Bust Draft Show is going to be. So make sure you guys subscribe because it is going to be a wild and chaotic year for the 2022 NFL Draft. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Boom or Bust Draft. And, of course, leave a review in our podcast. Check out our website below. Hit the merch store. And please go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BOOMERBUST, all caps, no spaces, for 20% off and free shipping. So for Tate Sigworth and Nick Merriam, I'm Max Chadwick. Have a great night.